This video brought to you in part by these fantastic sponsors.
このメロディーはライオン号だ。ライオン号よ、お前もまた獅子だというのなら命をかけて駆け抜けろ。
セイバー、
なんで、一体どうして。
定期預金を解約してきたんだ。セイバー、これから食事はお茶漬けだけだ。ふざけすぎだ、獣畜生が。
さあゴール目前、まだ勝負の行方はわからない。速いライオン号、怒涛の追い上げ、じわじわ差を詰める。並ぶ3台横一線。
己ブリキング、いけリン。
Greetings, Masters, and welcome to the races. The Useless Goddess is whisking you away to a new singularity point and a world of trouble. The Dead Heat Summer Race is a two-parter. Much like every summer, we will have 2 weeks of part 1 and then 2 weeks of part 2. In this guide, I will be covering everything for part 1. To start out, we will be getting the welfare servant rider Ishtar, and she is super cute, which is reason enough to complete this event and get that girl. The main quest will be split into rounds, and each round will have milestones, which will unlock your next part of the story quest. Each round will consist of one race, and the milestones are triggered by how far the leading team gets. After clearing the story quest, there are aid battles, aka free quests, to help boost the ranking of the team in the race. The team's standings are based on player participation, so think Guda Guda Meiji Ishin, for example. After the round finishes, all players who participate in the aid battle during the round will receive the rewards for the top 3 teams. So there are 6 teams to choose from: Team Salty Potaru, Team Stargate Granny, Team Nido Nido, Team Tin Can Fran, Team Autobots Rock and Roll Out, and finally, Team 6, the Mountain of Memories. We will be going over the rewards for each round in a moment, but let's get some more of the basics out of the way. What event would be complete without a shop? And like most of the time, you're going to have 3 currencies to farm: magnesium wheels, aka spinning rims, titanium sheets, gotta get those in the streets, and junk parts, so you can get some junk in that trunk. And if that wasn't enough, you are going to have boost items similar to Onigashima. Gas makes the busters bust harder. Nitros are an art, and it will boost those arts cards through the roof. And Oil Slick is going to make it quick, increasing quick performance. These will increase your respective cards as well as increasing aid based on the team's preferred boost item. Team Salty Potaru and Team Monstrous Memories will be requesting that you pass the gas. Team Stargate Granny and Nido Nido will be requesting the Nido Nitros. Team Tin Can Fran and Autobots Rock and Roll Out will be slick with the quick and gonna need that oil. Speaking of bonuses, you are going to get bonus currency from the servants up here on the screen right now. Obviously, the banner servants will be bringing in the most, but you can get +1s from a good mix of servants, which we will be discussing when we talk about farming. As expected, there is an event CE, and the first part is going to be Seaside Luxury. This is going to be hitting you with 20% increased star gen as well as passive stars per turn. Also increases to all of the currencies across the board. There will be 3 banner CEs that are going to further increase those drops if you are looking to hone in on one of them. Summer Little is not only great for this event, but it's pretty great in general. 25% increased NP gain along with 10% increased NP damage. And to top it all off, you get 10% crit damage on it as well. It's also going to increase your drop rate of those spinning rims and currency in the second half as well. White Cruising you are going to be having about 1 million of these as you roll for Summer Umu, but this is going to increase arts and buster performance as well as NP generation all by 8% across the board, and it's going to give you extra titanium sheets so you can hit them streets. Finally, the 3-star Sugar Vacation, and Astolfo is looking like an absolute snack in this one. The effect is not great, defense and quick performance, but you're just going to use this one to get some extra junk parts, which is Astolfo has some extra junk. Never mind. So there are all of your CEs. You will be getting 4 copies of Seaside Luxury from the shop, which means you are going to have to get 1 to drop in order to limit break it. I would suggest picking these up absolutely first. These are going to help you with the massive amount of farming that you are going to be needing to do. For shops, if you want to clear everything, you are going to be looking at 9,100 junk parts. Items of note here are fluid, which you are absolutely going to need, stingers, as well as feathers. The nice thing is you can trade up, so if you find yourself sitting on too many junk parts or titanium sheets, you can trade all of those in for the next highest material. Speaking of titanium sheets, you are going to need 10,600 of these. That's right, you heard me right. Ghost lanterns, shells, and lanugos out of this, as well as a golden foe. And when it comes to those magnesium wheels, aka them spinny boys, you are going to need almost 13,000 of these. Yikes. But you get some wine, tar, and most of all, pages, as well as yet another golden foe. The nice thing is, if you are stocked up on statues and monuments, you can pretty much skip a ton of this stuff and just focus on forming mats and turning stuff in for QP. You will also want to pick up the golden reeds, which are the essential material for Rider Ishtar, but you can leave those till a little bit later on. So we got the CEs, currencies, and shop out of the way. Let's move into the round rewards. As mentioned earlier, there will be rounds, 4 of them precisely. Root for your favorite materials, waifus, and pick your team. Only the top 3 shall shower us in materials. Round 1 options: scarabs, tar, feathers, shells, chains, and fangs. Personally, I'm cheering for scarabs, fangs, and feathers. Round 2, you have the option between wine, blood, babies, crystals, seeds, and dust. Here I am going to be pulling for wine, babies, and seeds, so jump on board with the Shotgun Shogunate. Round 3 will provide us with bicorn horns, claws, scales, gears, and fluid. I need those gears, boys. Claws and fluids might not be bad either, considering how many fluids we are going to need for a lot of these servants. Round 4, the final round: hearts, gallstones, lanugos, horseshoes, snake jewels, and proofs. I am pulling for proofs, hearts, and gallstones for real. Never enough proofs. I remember back in the beginning, we were like, oh man, we'll never run out of proofs. Now, never have enough proofs, or hearts for that matter. As the race progresses, you will run through the story, but the part you really want to know about are the free quests. Much like the most recent Gouda Gouda, we will have free quests you can only farm during the round until we finish the story, in which case they will all come back so that you can farm to your heart's content. I will be going over only the hardest nodes. So first up, we will be aiding Team Salty Potaru. This is going to be a bunch of weak casters with a 306k HP Lancer, bicorn horns, and fluid here, along with titanium sheets. Sadly, the only saber that will give you the rate up on this is going to be Saber Fran. A team of Rider Mordred and Nero Bride will work very, very well here. Mordred will make quick work of the casters, and you can arts meme your way through the Lancers. Insert your support of choice as the third. Next is going to be aiding Tin Can Fran. Casters and sabers on this one. The last wave will be 2 sabers. It is a bit of a weak wave, however. 61k and 180k sabers. Should be easy to make short work of this with the plethora of available archers that we have. If you were blessed to get Archer Artoria, she should be able to NP spam her way to glory on this node with some coverage from Anne Bonny, Tesla, Orion, and an Adelante. This will be dropping junk in sheets along with more bicorn horns. This time though, you will be getting chains in addition to fluid. Team Monstrous Memories is going to be a mix of assassins and casters, which kind of sucks because it's actually pretty hard to bring a good typing advantage to this. So just bring berserkers. Your second round will have two 62k assassins followed up with a 180k caster on the third round. You might be thinking, yay, hearts, casters, right? No, it's a horse, a caster horse. But you will be getting gears out of this one alongside of sheets and those 6 spinning rims. Team Stargate Granny is going to be all sabers with a berserker horse this time around. And the nice thing about this one, only 2 rounds, meaning you can farm junk and chains with the quickness. A 52k saber with a 180k berserker should be pretty easy to take out. Again, you do have a good pick of archers with bonuses during this event, so make sure you get use out of them. Autobots Rock and Roll Out is going to be a mix of assassins and sabers, but if you are looking for gears and chains, this is the place. You also have junk and rims here as well. The assassin on the third round is 42k and your sabers 177k. Again, should be short work for the archers at your disposal. However, make sure that you are bringing something else to clean up those assassins. Last but not least is Team Nito Nito. Assassins with an archer horse to finish this one out. Rims and gears are what you're looking at here. This one is going to be a little bit tougher as you are going to have 45 to 47k assassins in the first round, a 50 to 55k assassin in the second round, and you are going to have a 177k archer horse on the last round. If you were lucky enough to pull Umu Caster and have everything ready for her, she would be amazing for this node. Bring Kyo or Tomalancers to deal with the archer, but to be honest, this is not likely one you are going to want to farm in the first round. I hope you didn't think that was it because, well, we've got 3 more rounds, so make sure that you hit the concession stand and get ready for round 2, mat farming boogaloo. Up first will be the overheat node for Salter and Tanga Umu. Roots, snake jewels, crystals are going to be your bounty here, as well as swagtastic rims and some junk parts. You will have a mix of casters and berserkers here, so you should be able to clear this out fairly easily with a rider comp. The big bad berserker on the third wave is 215k hit points, so sadly, Rider Mordred might not be able to just wave this one away. Tin Can Fran is up next, and this is going to be a great place for plates as well as lamps and crystals, if that's what you're hunting. All Zerkers with a 212k Saber Bossarino on this one. Bring some AoE to burn down the 33 to 35k Berserkers and a strong single target archer for your third wave. Team Monstrous Memories is going to bring you a mix of plates and junk, but the nice thing about this node is roots, snake jewels, and stingers, as well as it being mostly just casters. You do have 2 lancers in the first wave, but it really shouldn't be too hard to knock them out fast. You do have a 212k caster at the end. Again, this will be a playground for the likes of Rider Mordred or Drake. Stargate Granny is going to be where you are going to be picking up nothing but sick rims this time around. Lamps and snake jewels are going to be dropping here, and this one is all casters save for the Saber Boss. You do have a bit of a beefy caster in waves 1 and 2, 45k in the first and 50k in the second. Bring yourself some strong riders and a solid single target archer for the last wave. Next, Team Autobots Rock and Roll Out is going to be rims and titanium sheets. Lamps, crystals, and stingers will be what you're dropping here. This one is a mix of Berserkers, Riders, and Lancers, and honestly, I will likely not be farming this one due to the disparity in drops and mixed typing if you do want to take this on. However, that you just Zerk it out, because due to the mixed typing that you have, literally Berserkers is going to be pretty much your best bet. Last up is Nito Nito, lamps and stingers here with junk parts as the only currency. Nothing but Lancers with an assassin boss is not too bad, actually. Not as good as mono waves, but you can just bring Sanzao to drop that assassin on the quick if you have her. Otherwise, Ilia or Media will work for your single target caster needs. So stick with me because we're coming up on the home stretch. Not really, we're just past the halfway mark. We are on to round 3. Salty Tangy Caster will be a mix of rims and sheets with scarab shells and jewels dropping. Wide mix of archers, sabers, and berserker boss. A little all over the place here, and it's not really the most optimal node to farm in this round. Speaking of suboptimal farming nodes, Frantic Fran is going to be a mix of rims and junk parts with scarab shells and feathers dropping on a mixed node of assassins and sabers. This one might not be the worst though, because unlike archers and sabers, these are not in the same pool. So you can either run a caster or an archer to get advantage on the boss, or trash and still do neutral damage to the others. Again, not a node I am looking to farm from a mat currency standpoint. Team Massive Memories is going to be the best node this time around for rims. You get the benefit of having claws and snake jewels here as well. Also, mono waves of archers to gear up those lancers and drop the hurt on this cutie Chimera, because you are going to need to do 276k damage. You do have to deal with a 66k in the first wave and 270ks in the second wave, so make sure you are prepared. The notorious Team Noodle Granny from space is going to be an alright place to farm sheets, but not the best, as you have a mix of sheet and junk along with a mix of scarabs, jewels, and feathers, which overall isn't too horrible. Your third wave on this is just straight up assassins, with your first wave being archers and the second wave being a mix. Team Nasty Nobu is going to have junk in that trunk this time around. Sabers with a 200k rider boss shouldn't be too hard, and I definitely noticed a high disparity in difficulty between some of these nodes. This time around, it's going to be claws and shells, so grab your junk and get to farming. Fitting for the Naughty Nito that her team will have the best drop for sheets this time around, because she's wearing a sheet. Anyways, this one is going to be a prime place for her caster counterpart. 2 waves of assassins with a lancer boss and a 42k assassin on the last wave. You will be getting claws and feathers here, and it looks like it will be pretty quick work for sure. I will be bringing my caster Nito along with a strong single target saber like Musashi or Okita to make quick work of that lancer for quick farming. Alright, now we're actually into the home stretch. Only one more to go because, well, we're on round 4. Team Dynamic Duo of the Bank Busting Banners is going to be the sheet spot this time around, and it's also going to be one of the best nodes in this event. All casters, gallstones, and pages. I'm going to be burning a massive pile of rainbow apples on this node for sure. All the casters, save for the boss, are around 51 to 60k in HP, and the boss is clocking in around 270k. Easy cleanup for Rider Mord with an Aussie or another single target rider to help put the last caster out the door. As much as I want to farm this next node due to gallstones, pages, and fangs, I know that the drops are going to be a little bit diluted and the mix of classes here is a little weird. Rims and junk are your currencies, and you have sabers on the first node with casters and a saber on the second node. Your last node is a caster and a saber Orion, which I would actually like to see one of these days in game. Up next is the Bodacious Busty Buster Babes, and they are going to have a mixed diluted drop pool of gallstones, pages, and seeds. They will also be dropping rims and sheets. Your enemies here are going to be a wave of casters, followed by a wave of berserkers, followed by a berserker boss, and a caster minion. This will be pretty easy to just rider clear if that is what you're looking to farm. Team Stargate Granny might not be packing the junk in the trunk, but she does have the best node to grab some junk. So get in here and get your gallstones and your seeds, boys. All Zerker channel all the time. The non-boss enemies range from 53 to 61k with a 270k boss, but should be able to just AoE burn these down without too much trouble. Ready to rock? Well, Nobu is back and she's bringing a mix of sheets and junk this time around with gallstones, seeds, and fangs in her pool. I wouldn't mind being in that pool, actually. Honestly, some of these mixed nodes I might go at to just see how bad the drop rates are and maybe surprise myself because, man, I'll tell you what, I need so many fangs. This is going to be riders and sabers. Thankfully, the riders are on the first round, so you can just get them out of the way and bring your big powerhouse archers to burn down waves 2 and 3. 216k should be child's play for your boy Robin Hood because I hear he wears tights. Tight tights. And speaking of tight tights, last but not least is Team Chocolate Bunny. This is going to be rocking the spinning rims this time around with gallstones and fangs. This one is going to be pretty easy, honestly. Sabers and an assassin. The assassin is pretty weak too compared to the others at 180k. You have some beefy sabers in waves 1 and 2. You have 52k in the first wave and 255k sabers in the second wave, capping out with a 60k saber in the last wave next to that 180k assassin. This will be the place to farm your rims for sure, and who can't use a couple of dragon's fangs, am I right? I may be hard pressed trying to decide if I am going to farm this one or the page node. This one might be more lucrative in terms of QP per AP once you are done with the shop turning these rims into hard cash. By that I mean QP, because you get more from these. Whew. Anyways, that was a lot of stuff right there. Now, one thing to note about that is that I have seen various drop rates on multiple different sheets. They were a little bit all over the place. Generally, round 1 had bicorn horns at around 23%, with bronze drop rates around 20 to 22%, and gears hitting about 30 to 35% on solo nodes. For more information on the percentages, you can see Lord Ashura's guide down in the description. So now that we've gotten all of that out of the way, let me recap. What team should you pick? If you care about mats and event currency, go for the free quests, obviously, that give you the items that you want. However, if you just want your waifu to win, go for the waifu nodes. You will get the reward regardless, as long as you participated at least once. Now, what should I do first? Roll friend points. Try to get some of those 3-star CEs for the event. I know they don't really show up very often, but do it if you're not going to be rolling on the gacha. But if you're going to be rolling on the gacha, you're going to have all kinds of limit broken ones anyways, as you look for salty Umu. You will want to start out by farming that junk and getting the shop CE immediately. Always make sure that your shop CE is the first thing that you get, because it's going to help you snowball into farming a lot faster. Things to remember: when the round of the race ends, you will get 10k QP for each point you earn during the round of the race. So this is a good time to farm your absolute face off. And unlike some of the previous events, you are going to absolutely want to use your boost items to get more QP. If you match them up, you get more aid points, which turns into more QP. Now, for CE placement on your support list, you will want to put Summer Little on your archer spot, preferably with a bonus up archer. You will want to put Seaside Luxury on your caster and your all slots. White Cruising should be in your Lancer spot, with Sugar Vacation in the Assassin spot. This is if you are trying to get those optimal cards into the spots for the best drops. Well, that is quite a bit of stuff, and I'm sure I forgot something along the way, but hopefully this has helped you guys out and gave you a good idea of what you have waiting for you. There are a bunch of challenge quests as well, which I will potentially be going over in a different guide. I will have all of the servant guides up as soon as I get them. I already have 2 of them out. The next 3 will be following, and then I will start working on part 2 so that we can have everything ready for part 2. But let me know in the comments who you're rolling for, what you're excited for. Are you rolling on Banner 1? Are you rolling on Banner 2? Are you rolling on both of them? Are you ready for the farm fest that is the Dead Heat races? Hopefully you did find this helpful. If you did, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, smash that bell notification, drop me a like and a comment, and make sure that you share this out. YouTube has been deranking and not recommending a lot of smaller content creators, and in the grand scheme of things, I am pretty small. So a lot of my reach is due to everybody helping me out. And if you do like the channel, if you do want to help it out, just share stuff out, get the name out there, and I definitely do appreciate it. But I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take it easy, homies. Peace.